So a while ago, I bought this hot new game called Universe Simulator. After a good 17 years invested in the game, it's fair for me to say that I have successfully mastered the game's mechanics. As such, I am confident that I can provide new players with a comprehensive guide so that they can start their own universe. If your computer hasn't exploded trying to load the game, then you'll be greeted with a character creation screen. As a general tip for players, I recommend going with the Caucasian race, since your character gets quite a lot of privileges that will help you immensely in the early game. Your career skill tree is also quite varied, and you get access to pretty much all of the endgame bonuses, such as social security and the likes. However, your character gets a massive debuff to awareness, so you will struggle a bit in mid-game content. The other notable race is the Mongolian race, where you get massive buffs to your math and science skills and earlier access to the ramen power-up item. These traits will allow you to plow through early and mid-game content, especially from levels 18 to 25. However, your career tree is pretty much limited to the math and science subsections, so unless you invested all of your skills into leveling these two skills, then you're pretty much useless for late game content. Also, keep in mind of the unique early game trait of this race, child abuse. This will give your character negative 20 morale in exchange for plus 10 discipline. I wouldn't recommend performing a playthrough as a Negroid race, as you will be encountered with quite a few debuffs throughout the game, such as racism, which decreases your chance to receive the occasional rewards that the game gives out. Before the developers added the Civil Rights event, which was about 40 patches ago, you also had a huge debuff to your career point generation, and you were generally banned from the game's feedback survey, which occurs every 4 years. The devs said that after the Civil Rights event, the Negroid would have the same buffs as other races, but recent players of the race have claimed otherwise. However, if you do insist on playing the race, I'd recommend starting on the northernmost region of the map, as the debuff modifiers for the northern regions aren't as massive as southern ones. Currently, the game only has the US as a playable area, but the higher level players say that more areas of the world will unlock if you put points into your travel skill. I myself have only unlocked a small region of Asia throughout my 16 years of playing, so it's a very slow progression system unless you're willing to sink a lot of resources into the travel tree. Once you have selected your character and starting region, prepare to go through a 9-month loading screen. After that, you will be introduced to the two parent players. Up until recently, these two characters have only been a combination of male and female, but recent patches have expanded the customizability of them. Depending on whether these two players have invested skill in the parenting tree, you may go through the first few levels with plus 10 cognition and plus 10 morale, or if you're like me, you would end up with minus 25 morale and minus 20 happiness. Though this doesn't happen too often. Level 1 to 5 will consist of mostly interactive cutscenes, and level 6 to 18 is basically the tutorial. Don't worry, the tutorial isn't even hard, and it's not even useful, it's just there to sell you the college and university DLC. And that's pretty much the end of the early game.